Hello, beautiful Gemini souls. Thank you guys for joining me here in the extended portion of your reading. So I am going with the Deviant Moon Tarot here for your extended deck. Spirit, what other messages do we have for Gemini at this time? Starting with direct messages from your higher self. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune here at the split. So change is a constant, right? The only constant in life is change. Having that tower there in your general, I feel like this is a reminder from Spirit, from your higher self, to again find some flexibility and learn to be adaptable in whatever situation is going on for you. Okay, making the most of wherever it is that wheel is turning. Okay, working with your breath is something that's coming up for me too. So meditation, visualization of practicing inhaling what it is that you want in your experience, and as you exhale, imagine that wheel, the wheel of life, turning. It ended up there on the bottom too. Imagine that wheel turning to the direction that you want it to turn. Okay, through a calm and collected state, like your Nine of Pentacles in your good stuff here. I feel like you're being led to situations of a bit more calm and clarity so that you can participate in that kind of practice. So Lovers here at the bottom to start. This is your card. This is our card, you guys. So Lovers is being at a crossroads. There's a need to make a decision. There could be love. This could involve some form of relationship or love. With this deck in particular, there's that snake that's biting that person's leg. So this kind of makes me feel like it might be attached to the tower moment for some of you. The tower moment could have been a relationship ending, coming apart, falling down, whatever. If that's the case, you know, the tower needed to come down. But what I'm getting from that is like there was someone's poisoned the water hole. There was already poison there was already venom in that situation, okay? There needed to be some sort of cure, whether that was an antidote of medicine or an antidote of space, okay? So, your higher self, okay. Messages from your higher self. Hermit and Page of Swords. So, kind of connecting that to love, I feel like maybe this is more of you than I realize as far as like a relationship coming apart. The Hermit is solitude. It can be isolation too. And I am kind of getting a little bit more of the isolation, especially with this deck. The Hermit is exhibiting a bit of fear, right? It reminds me here of like our inner child that's in a state of panic because of something that they are. A portion of us that have been put into the shadow realm because at some point that part of us was told that it wasn't okay to be in the light. I'm very much getting this from this. And if this was a relationship that ended or just whatever happened with your tower, this is triggering this engagement with your inner child at this time. So if you are experiencing a lot of fear, go have a chat with your inner kiddo here. Find out what the fear is. Find out what the point of that emotion coming up, like what is that trying to tell you? What portion or what part of yourself is trying to tell you what here, okay? And remind yourself that you are in charge and that you got every component of yourself and you're working to keep everyone safe, okay? It's okay to be alone too. This is something that I'm getting from this. Those of you that this is attached to a relationship, there is this fear of being alone, like time running out or just not knowing what to do outside of this relationship. Change is the only constant. I'm brought back to the wheel there. I do feel things are working to turn themselves in your favor. Depending on where you're at in this process of something coming down, that needs to finish up first. There needs to be a decision for you to move through that rubble too, to where there are better days, okay? Page of Swords, this is a need to pay attention to something. So I feel like your higher self, or to learn something, your higher self is asking you to pay attention to something going on about yourself. I feel like it's exactly what I was just saying there with the inner child. To pay attention to what's going on there. Okay? That program, that narrative, whatever's happening. The Page of Swords can also be a bit of a spy kind of activity. So this could be representing somebody's peeping on you, you know. Because this is from your higher self specifically, I do feel like this is more of a caution towards activity that you may be participating in, okay? Especially if this is regarding a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic, but a person, okay, a relationship from the past that is no longer in the present. You're being cautioned about pulling that moment back into the present by continuing to open that door, whether that be 611 on the timer, being on the right track. That's my number for being on the right track. Whether that be keeping track of them on Facebook or Instagram, you know, social media, something like that. Or if you find yourself really ruminating on them in general, I would take that as kind of like spying, energetic spying activity as well. No shame or blame. This is just if this is what's going on for you, to use that as a clue that something needs to shift. You're in that static position when it needs to be in orbit, okay? You can't keep yourself in that one place in time, and you don't want to. Gemini, we're Gemini. We got shit to do, okay? We have everything to do. Which Oracle deck here? The Crows. So last piece of advice here for Gemini from Gemini's higher self. What does Gemini have to say to Gemini? What did one Gemini say to the other? Community. And distance, too. This coming out at the bottom, that connects to what I was just saying about the antidote for the poison, okay? In this relationship, sometimes there's an antidote for the venom. Sometimes it's space, it's distance. But community here coming through. I feel that your higher self is asking you to participate in community. Make sure you're tapping into your community as you need to right now. If you don't have a community, start building one. I understand it's not something we can just order from Amazon yet, but putting ourselves out there, doing things that we enjoy doing out in public where there are other people, creating conversations with others. This is how we start to develop relationships, okay, you guys? I know that may sound silly, but as someone who's gotten stuck outside of a community many times too, it really is as simple as starting to put yourself out there, okay? And checking the fear also. Because if you're coming into this situation to build community from a place of desperation, every human being can feel that, okay? And there's no need to be desperate. You have so much to offer. You're a friend that a friend would like to have, okay? All right, so let's move into love. See what's going on for you guys. 6 of Cups and 4 of Cups. Oh gosh, okay. Yeah, so 6 of Cups is typically about nostalgia, happy memories. It's your inner child too. A gift from your past self to your present or future self. The 4 of Cups here is it can be missing out on an opportunity, especially in this deck here. They're dropping the chalice or the cup off the edge of the whatever's happening there, the fortress, the balcony. Definitely feeling Mercury going retrograde myself, you guys. I'm sure you are too. My fellow air signs, Mercury signs. So this is pointing to love again here for me. Something that you're feeling was lost. Happy memories or better days are behind you. Maybe that's not possible for you anymore. You've already gone through your prime, maybe, is something that you're feeling or thinking or telling yourself here. I feel like it's really important to be careful. The 4 of Cups also warns about missing that opportunity because we are too focused on one thing. Laziness, bitterness, anger, being jaded, negativity. It could even be too focused on spiritual pursuits or work. It's just having too much of a focus on one area. that we're actually missing what else is being offered around us. So I feel the message that's coming through here is there are happy memories that can be built in the future or in your present for your past, not to get stuck on believing that your best days are behind you. What a depressing way to live. Yeah, there's so much to experience here, you guys. Which Oracle deck do you want? Starseed, okay. Okay. Advice here on love for Gemini. For my Gemini friends. What does Gemini need to know about love? Let's talk about love. Ooh. Well, Earthed here at the bottom, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. I do feel like we're at a time here right now, Gemini, where we are learning that balance of healthy detachment and healthy attachment. Okay? Seems like this needs to be addressed or readdressed. So, I'm sorry came out. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. So when this card comes out in largesse, it requests that we own our shit. And not for anyone else except for us, okay? It's not about right or wrong. It's not about any of that, okay? It's about validating what we've been through, seeing it for what it is, identifying how we're feeling, becoming curious about what maybe got us there, becoming curious about maybe why we're feeling the way that we're feeling, taking ownership of all of that so that we can move forward, so that we can create situations where we're having happy memories again. For some of you, this could be a situation, you know, if there is a relationship that is salvageable, let's say that something didn't end, you know, as far as the tower goes, I would say, like, be careful with that energy coming through, not to push something that maybe feels like it's expired, you know what I mean? If you are living in Delulu Nation, come on down, okay? I know that especially relationships ending can be very difficult and are very difficult. I've been through some very painful endings myself. I feel like, though, the energy of compassion towards yourself, to forgiving yourself as well. Obviously, there's somebody else that's involved in this situation too, or other parties. And it's one thing to forgive them too. It's coming forward, though, primarily forgiving the self first. We can't truly forgive somebody else if we don't know how to do that to ourselves. How can you love somebody else if you don't know how to love yourself? You can't. Not in a healthy way, okay? So I feel like you're being encouraged, whether this is friendship, romantic, family, whatever's going on, you're being directed to go inside here, give yourself some grace and compassion. If you need to apologize to yourself, extend forgiveness to yourself. This could also be pointing to generational shit coming down, okay? Ho'opo'ono is coming through. You may be working through healing some generational stuff. And that's not easy. If that's the case, I do feel encouraged to say, watch getting too focused on one thing still, okay? Focusing on working that only, focusing on avoiding that, you know? Try to live a balanced life, always. But especially right now, there's a need to take care of your own personal needs, okay? This process feels very, very draining, very hard, okay, Gemini? All right, so let's move into career for you guys. Page of Cups and Devo. Or Death, excuse me. I always think this is the devil. The devil. It's Death. Death and Page of Cups. So, I do feel like you guys are I'm drawn back to the wheel here. You guys are in a process of major change here in career too, in work. This could have been where something happened tower-wise. It does feel a bit more relationship heavy for more of you though. But having death here, that's going to be a natural close to a cycle. So you have gone as far as you can down this road, wherever you are career wise or whatever you're doing. Maybe it's a position change that's needed. Maybe a whole career change is needed. That Page of Swords, like I said, it's a request to learn something. Your higher self is asking you to learn something new. And you had Seven of Pentacles here in your challenge in the general. A need to hone skills. So maybe you guys are in a place where you're wanting to shift something. If that's the case, this feels voluntary, okay? With the Page of Cups, this energy coming through, this is something that the fish in there, les poissons, the fish is an idea that this individual has. It symbolizes the idea only, not it manifesting, it becoming real. There's a need to pull that down into this reality to collapse that particle from the wave function, right? This is going to require that you are experiencing this portion, whatever it is you're working to shift here in career, you're experiencing it as if it's already here. You're expressing gratitude for that. And you're feeling the good vibes that come with making this change too, okay? There's a caution to letting emotions in general right now overtake you or overcome you. You're more than capable of navigating this manifestation or this change in career, whatever it is that you're looking to do. Don't get too stuck on the death side of it, something ending, okay? With an ending, a beginning also has to happen. The first step to creation is destruction. And that's what feels like has happened, is happening, will happen, okay? Do you want an oracle card? No. Nah. Okay. So manifestation. Well, you guys are most likely manifesting based on your thoughts and emotions. Interesting. So the Fool and Justice come through here. And you had the Fool in your challenge in the general. So I do feel like you guys are working to manifest fairness, whatever this looks like, whatever you feel, real or perceived loss, okay? Or where you may have been slighted, real or perceived. I'm getting this feeling of, sorry, I'm not sure what's thumping out there. Living in an apartment complex that can be noisy. You're pursuing fairness, though, balance in something. Potentially even in a legal vein. Could be a divorce, you know, that some of you are going through. Being in what's being manifested here, I feel like there is a lot of time and effort and energy, thought energy, that's going into manifesting fairness. And I feel like that's something that needs to be released, okay? I understand there are situations where, you know, we can lawyer up or, you know, depending on what's going on, that may be the best course of action for you to take. It may not be. Only you can decide that. But what's coming through here, especially with the Fool, I'm feeling like there's this division between you're working to manifest this new journey, a new attempt, a new go at life, working to lean into faith. But then there's also this kind of controlling energy that's coming through here too with Justice. Balance will always be struck, okay? Maybe not always in a human being's timeline or time frame, what they desire, but it will be, okay? And the more that you focus on that, it doesn't hasten that process at all, okay? So what I'm getting is to lean more into the new rather than trying to rectify the old, okay? Again, every situation's different, but this is what I'm getting from this. You're being asked to to take it back to this childlike state where you're excited about starting life. And if you're going through grief right now, I get that's a process. You can absolutely get back to this place though. Being happy is a byproduct of doing the things that allow us to be happy, but it starts with a choice. We have to make that decision to work there, okay? To work to that direction. Okay, let's pull, which oracle card do you want here? Archetype. Last oracle card here for Gemini, surrounding their manifestations. What do we have for Gemini? Which one? Okay, interesting. I want both here. So the Father and Anima Mundi. Sure, I have that up, right side up. So interesting. There may be something going on with the father archetype here. Father and mother could be literally be your father. It could be a divine masculine energy within yourself or those around you. Okay. The portion of it that's standing out to me is this energy of like the father must disappear at some point in our life in order for us to see that they in fact are human as well. Okay, as we're growing up, the father archetype working with the mother archetype together, the mother tends to cling to that which she initially meant to set free. The father archetype kind of helps cleave that energy of the child from the mother. So that's sort of how they work together. And then the father disappears. This is a natural archetype. I'm not saying everybody's father disappears, but it's normal for that energy to drop off as we're growing up and we start to see our parents as human. So you may be working to manifest a better relationship with your father. Or maybe there's something legally going on there. Maybe that's where you're wanting fairness and balance. I'm gonna look up Anima Mundi here. Un momento, por favor. So Anima Mundi, the soul of the world, all that is. Okay. The embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. Okay, so back to resistance here. That came through in the general portion. So with manifestation, the secret here, you're being reminded here that there is some resistance in your manifestation right now. If you find you're one of these people that are pushing for a balance and you're adamant about this is what this needs to look like, I challenge you to soften a little bit towards yourself and get curious about why it is that you are feeling so rigid, okay? Because what you're working to manifest or what you want to manifest for your highest good requires some flexibility and adaptability. Maybe even some naivety, okay? Joy to start again. All right, Gemini, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here in the extended. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you all very soon. Be well.